This Wednesday, the Prime Minister will announce the date of the referendum on the Voice. He has chosen to make the announcement in South Australia, a key battleground state in this referendum. A unique feature of the debate in South Australia is that South Australia has already legislated for an Indigenous voice to Parliament. In new research by the Institute of Public Affairs, we assess both the proposed national voice and the South Australian legislated voice against 10 internationally recognised criteria of good governance. In summary, the proposed national voice to Parliament will be permanent, more disruptive and powerful, and less democratic than South Australia's legislated voice to Parliament. But at their core, both promote the divisive concept of putting race at the centre of how we are governed. The criteria we have used to compare both regimes are taken from a variety of international organisations such as the United Nations, the OECD and the Council of Europe, who have published standards on how governments can demonstrate commitment to equality, representation, accountability and efficiency. Our research concludes that the South Australian voice passes 4 of the 10 criteria, fails 4 criteria, and is unclear in respect to 2. The national voice passes just 1 of the 10 criteria, fails 8 criteria, and is unclear in respect to 1. A crucial distinction between the two voices is that the South Australian voice retains key administrative safeguards that the Canberra Voice would not have. As the South Australian voice model is accountable to the elected state parliament, its scope and powers can be defined democratically by voters. This will not be the case with the Canberra Voice to Parliament. It will be up to the High Court to determine the scope, rights and powers of the Canberra Voice, and Australians would not be able to do a single thing about it. These new findings follow the recent release of IPA polling that shows that when South Australians learn that the Canberra Voice will be enshrined in the Australian Constitution, unlike their state-based voice, respondents are even less favourable towards it, with 44% saying they would vote no, 35% yes, and 22% unsure. The research highlights that not all voices are the same. The power to decide how the Canberra Voice functions will be handed over to unelected judges and activists. This is why it is so important that voters are fully informed of this proposed constitutional change. For more information about the IPA's research, visit our website at www.ipa.org.au.
Authorised by Scott Hargreaves, Institute of Public Affairs, Melbourne.